Person one, people tend to repeat the same behaviors in different relationships. I'd say you probably know the answer, which would be yes. Um, this one man I used to date struggled with depression, drank every night, and he also was cold and distant and had trouble being emotionally supportive towards me during our relationship. I saw that he recently got married, and I'm wondering about the dynamics of the relationship between him and the woman. If he's changed since then, or if also cold and distant towards her, maybe that's something she can handle slash doesn't care about. I'm also wondering in general if people repeat their same behaviors and how possible it is that they change any problematic behaviors. Okay, so why are you thinking this? Because it's like, well, he's found someone else, you haven't. To be straight up, I mean, that's probably what you're experiencing. And so it's like, you're basically trying to put this person down or find out ways that he's bad or that their relationship is bad so you can feel better about yourself. Usually people don't change, but sometimes their actions do change. So maybe he quit drinking, that happens. Maybe he worked on themselves. It's like usually people don't change unless they basically change their identity. And that's really what it's about. It's about an identity. And if you don't shift your identity, then it's like, well, yeah, it's kind of the same behavior. That's why you'll see, like, when people get back with exes, same problems happen again, and they just break up over and over again. I was in a cycle like that when I was younger. Over and over again, we got back together, and it was just like same problems. I told myself I'd never get in this situation again, never be with this person again. What do you know? There's a couple months of space, and then we're back together again. Same problems, repeat. Bad way to go. But it was like our identities didn't shift. It was like we were the same people as far as who we believed we are and who we believe we are. It's like, well, that really shapes our decisions. It's like we have to act in congruence with who we view ourselves to be. Now, if we have a shift and so we say like no more, like that happened to me, failed over and over again in relationships, didn't know what I was doing, basically had enough, totally embarrassed myself, ended a bunch of relationships that even kind of extended to family friends. And it was just because I messed up. It wasn't necessarily because it was like, I was just so embarrassed that I just basically ended those relationships. And I was like, this is not who I am. And so boom, that's like, it's done. It's like, it's done. And so I started, learn about relationships, completely dove into that. And then basically did it for many years and applied it. It works. It's basically psychological truths. All that's kind of outlined in those products right there. You can get that fundamentals one for free. Then the other ones you have to pay $30, but it's like, it'll give you exactly what to do. Let's get back to the post. Recently, I dated a man who was much older than I. During the relationship, I saw how takes advantage of people and is very selfish. So she's failing in this relationship. Now she's thinking about the ex. Common thing people do. It's like when they're thinking, well, is it the best that I can do? It's called hypergamy. And so it's like when you fail with somebody, it's like, well, maybe they're the best I could ever do. So now you think about them again. It's like it's just a constant thing, and a very natural thing as far as emotional reactions go to happen. And you have to basically, best way around this is to just succeed and actually do better. That's really the foolproof way to do it. And that really comes from the effort it takes to understand relationships. I heard from people in town that he acts that way with everyone. One woman said he has a reputation for being mean to his girlfriends. And I believe she's talking about the guy she dated after this other guy. And so she's also picking these guys that are alcoholics, that are, abusive, that are mean. It's like check on why you're making these choices. Do you feel like you deserve that? Is that what you know? Is that what you know from maybe people in your family? Maybe your father, did he treat you that way? Did he treat your mother that way? Because what you'll find is oftentimes it's like we pick people who resemble our parents in a lot of ways, because it's like that's the certainty that we know. And it's like that certainty is like really a survival mechanism in people. And so understanding that, it really can help you understand your decision making. And so sometimes stepping into the uncertainty is such a better way to go, but we'll just constantly choose the certain pain that we have or the certain criteria that we pick for people. One woman said, a reputation meaning girlfriends. Obviously, this man has been repeating the same stuff over and over again with each woman that comes along. But what about other people? How common is it for someone to change their behavior in a relationship? Yeah, it just seems like you're hurting right now. Just kind of, and you're trying to figure out what to do. And so sometimes when you're in that point in your life, sometimes that can be the catalyst of change. And in that regard, pain is one of the most useful things because it can drive you away from your current situation and your current pattern of behavior. And maybe because you're looking at other people, it's like maybe you want to change yourself. And maybe it's not that you're looking if those people are going to change. It's that you're looking into yourself and saying, can I change?